Hope everyone is having a fabulous and fantastic day. Okay, I'm waiting for things to connect over here. Yep, they are. Yes, it has been a minute since I've gone live. Hold on, let me bring mics in and all that other good stuff. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. But I am so glad to be back with you all, to be able to deliver content. Number one, to be able to have a voice. Because you know how bronchitis is, and it has taken my voice so many times, which prevented me from going live. But I am here, and I am so excited to be back, especially at a crucial time in your coaching business. And today I want to introduce a new idea to you. It's an idea that I have been working on behind the scenes, not only with my clients, but with myself. And I think you all are going to really find this idea and this approach to your business as something that's kind of revolutionary, and it's going to change how you look at the year, how you look at your business, how you move as the CEO of your business, how you move with your team, how you engage with them, how you engage with your clients, and all that other good stuff. And I'm going to, without further ado, go ahead and get into it, because I believe that your 2025 revenue goals are not dead. So I need you to stop acting as if it was. I'm here to not only shine light on how you view your business, but I'm also here to ignite a fire within you. If you don't know who I am Jay Black, the owner and head strategist coach of Jay Black & Co. And what I do, I work with coaches to help them navigate not only their businesses as a CEO, but to have in place the proper offers, the proper systems and funnels that's going to navigate them through the 4 different stages of business growth and scale. So that's what I do. And in looking at November, I get it. It's November, right? And you're thinking, I've been through all of the launches for this year. I've done all the pivots. I've worked with all my clients. I've done the cancellations for different types of discovery calls that I offer. And you may even be dealing with burnout. So I get it. But while everyone is talking about 2026 planning, you have been quietly wondering, even if it's worth, your efforts to push through anything anymore this year. So promoting your offer, or, right now people are like doing a whole bunch of discounts for Black Friday and whatnot. And you're thinking like, okay, the year is almost over. Should I put any more into my business? And I'm here to tell you that the year is not over, not even close. So let's go ahead and talk about this November slump that a lot of coaches are in. Right now, your energy shift, let's acknowledge the energy shift around November, right? We start convincing ourselves that everyone has checked out, so your audience is not ready to purchase. They're steady buying materialistic things or physical things. They're not thinking about investing in themselves, investing in their lives in that type of sense. They're interested in doing that January of whatever year it is. They're not thinking about that in December. And That, my friend, is what I'm calling the November slump. You're thinking that your audience is already gearing down, that they're not interested in investing, they're interested in purchasing, they're interested in like not really spending that type of money on themselves, right? And I've seen it over and over again. Coaches, business owners, consultants, marketing strategists, whoever you are that's listening to this at this point right now, you fall for it every single year. You think that your audience isn't interested. And people are not interested in things that you tell them are of no importance. If you're not out in front of them marketing or making yourself visible to your audience, then you're not top of mind. They're not thinking about your coaching program. They're not thinking of investing in themselves like that. Because you're not out there. The reason why they're thinking about, the Black Friday sales or buying that certain television, that pocketbook, that whatever else you think that they're purchasing at that time. The reason why is that they have been conditioned to think of those things. So if you're not out there being of top of mind to them, then no, they're not going to think of you that way. So you're really avoiding the need for you to show up. You're avoiding the need for you that requires you to sell. So you start using this time, instead of selling, instead of being top of mind, you're using it to do menial tasks or behind the scenes tasks that really either you should have your team doing or that should have already been done. Like you start thinking about next year's offers, you start redoing your funnel, you start retweaking your website, you start being busy doing things that are not revenue generating. Okay, so you're not doing things that are going to bring you, I'm sorry, I have allergies or something and I'm like itching all over the place. But you're not doing anything that's revenue generating. You're not doing anything that's keeping you top of mind. You're not doing anything that's going to bring you sales today. Instead, you're planning ahead, but you're not producing. And so here's the truth about the matter. If you're planning your next season while ignoring the season that you're still in, then you're leaving real money on the table because you're focusing not on the opportunity that's at hand. You're planning for something that is a few months down the line. Now, let me tell you this. I know you're probably saying, okay, so Jay, when should I plan? If I'm not going to plan now, then when should I do it? Shouldn't I be planning ahead for things to come? We're going to talk about that a little later in this series because I don't know if you saw my stories. I said that this is going to be the foundation and I'm going to build on that foundation over the next course of lives. Of the next course of videos, I'm going to build on that foundation. So there is a time for planning. And you can actually do that right now. But a lot of coaches pick one or the other. Either I'm planning or I'm selling. I can't do both at the same time. And that's not true. Yes, you can, and you should. You should be doing both of them at the same time. But if you are choosing to do one or the other, you're missing out. And you're setting yourself to fall behind whenever January hits. So let's reframe, or let's adjust how you're looking at Q4. And this is what I call the Q5 mindset. So don't think of the year as going from January 1st to December 1st. Look at it as a continuation. Okay? So Q5 starts November 1st and it continues. It pushes past December 31st. So that's right. The Q5 mindset is actually that additional 65-day sprint that goes from November 1st and passes December 31st and moves you into January. Now, this is not about a hustle. So don't go into it like this is that last year push to get some more money. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that your business continues. Your business goes past December 31st. It moves past that. It's a continuous movement that happens. It doesn't take a break. It doesn't have a downtime, right? You need to keep generating money, because what's going to happen for you as the business owner come January 1st? If you do not have any money from fourth quarter, if you're like, okay, so the fourth quarter, I take that break, right? Then what happens at January? You're trying to create momentum, right? But if you keep momentum going, then you're there, you're ready for the things that happen come January 1st. If you keep the momentum going, then whenever your audience, let's say, for example, you're a fitness coach, right? Or a health and wellness coach. If your thinking is, or your marketing is, that your audience is ready to hit the gym, hit that new diet plan or meal plan, meal prep, whatever. Let's say that all happens in January. You know, people come with New Year's resolutions, New Year goals, all that other stuff, right? You know that happens. Well, if you are like waiting for January 1st to hit before you start doing A, B, C, and D, then you don't have that rev up and go. You're sitting there waiting for something to happen, as opposed to you're being in your stride and you're already keeping that pace going. If you're already keeping that pace going, there's no need for you to sit up there and use all that energy to try and keep up. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all about you being intentional and using these 60 days to capitalize on the opportunities that are there, to capitalize on the momentum that you have. Now, what you can do is, if you're wanting to plan for all these things that are happening in January or whatever the case is, then you can use October to do that. But I don't want you to fall into this lull that a lot of coaches tend to happen. So while everyone else is sliding into holiday mode, you're actually setting up a foundation for quarter one. Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying there? So Q5 isn't just the end of the year cleanup. It's not, downtime. Don't look at it as, okay, let me go into vacation mode. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as your financial springboard. It's setting you up. It's keeping that momentum going for all the activity that's going to happen at the beginning of the year. This is how you start 2026, being ahead of the curve and not trying to catch up. You see what I'm saying? So this is the opportunity to help you fund 2026. And here's why this Q5 mindset actually matters. So imagine that you're starting off January and your Q1 revenue already banked. So your Q1 goals, you are already ahead of hitting that because of the stuff that you did in Q5. You see what I'm saying? You already have that momentum. You're already marketing. You already have your stuff out. You're already in top of mind to your audience. Your audience is already investing in that mastermind. Your audience is already getting on your wait list for your coaching program that starts the beginning of your year. You're already filling up your discovery call list or your application process or whatever the case is. You're already doing that because you already have that momentum going. See what I'm saying? So imagine that let's say you're planning for your own personal mastermind. As a coach, coaches have coaches. Coaches need coaches. Coaches need strategists. So you already maybe are looking at a coach, a strategist, a mastermind, or something like that that you're wanting to get into, right? You know it comes every year. You know that you've been eyeing it. You've already done your research. Heck, you may have already been in there. You want to go in there again. Imagine you already have that banked. You already have that paid for because of the stuff that you did in Q5. So Q5 is how you're going to fund 2026 or the next year before it even begins. And it's not about hustle. It's not about grinding. So I don't want you to think about that. I don't want you to even have that type of mindset going into Q5. I want you to look at it as you are capitalizing on an opportunity that's there. You are you're revving up a momentum that you want to take into the new year. So it's about finishing as a CEO that you should be. If you're wanting to have a coaching business that rides this economic ebb that we're in, if you want a business that's going to go through all of the phases, the 4 phases of business building. So you're going through the build, strengthen, grow, and scale phases so that you can reach that next level that you're wanting to go into. Then this is how you do that. You should know your numbers. You should want to be ahead of the curve. You should want to know what your next move is. You should want to be able to leverage the momentum that you have. You should want to know how to use your energies and use your investment as a CEO, as a coach, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur properly. You see what I'm saying? Let me know if that makes any sense. I know there's several of you who are on Instagram, who are watching me live on Facebook and YouTube. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I didn't want any of you to think that I was ignoring you or anything like that. You know how I get into a flow and I'm like, hitting it. So yes. It's about being ahead of the curve. Yes. It's about leveraging. Yes, exactly. So I know you're thinking, okay, Jay, this sounds great. This sounds great. Awesome. I'm all with it. Like many of you in the chat, you're like, Jay, I'm with you. Sounds great. I want to do that. How do I actually make it happen? So I'm about to tell you. It's simple. It's a two-part punch. Number one, you need to have a high value offer that that you release or that you have already in November that converts fast. You want it to be a no-brainer. It needs to align with your what your audience already needs so they can close their year strong. It needs to be a no-brainer. Okay? High value offer, converts fast, aligns with what your audience already needs. 3 parts there, okay? Then the second part is that you need to have a targeted strategy for December that turns your audience into buyers heading into the new year. So you need to, so again, I said it's a 1-2 punch, right? So you need to have the offer. Now you need to have the targeted strategy. Okay. So I'm going to break down that first part next week. I'm going to talk about how you can craft and sell that high value November offer that's going to fund your Q1 before January even starts. So make sure that you follow me. You have all your notifications on because I don't want you to miss it. You shouldn't want to miss it. Okay? So if you all have any questions about this Q5 mindset, if you have any questions about putting into plan any of, you're getting ready for 2026, I was going to say 2025, but 2026, then I want you to go ahead and comment down below, or you can send me a message. You can definitely hit me up, hello@jayblackandco.com. And that's jayblackandco.com, not .com, jayblackandco across all platforms if you want to send me a DM. Okay? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. Did y'all have a lot of fun? Did y'all have fun? I hope y'all did. I am excited to be with you all again here on live. I hope this new idea of a Q5 mindset changes how you see your business, because I definitely believe that your revenue goals are not dead because it's quote unquote the end of the year, just because it's November. That don't mean nothing. It being November, even December, it doesn't mean anything, because if you take that mindset that your year is continuous, then it's going to change how you begin to plan for your year, your activities, all that other good stuff. All right. Well, you all, thank you so much for joining me live. Again, I am Jay with Jay Black & Co. And I can't wait to see you all again next week. Next week, Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Until next time. Bye.